Hello and welcome to the Beckoning Bookshelf. I'm your host, Jeffrey Ashcraft. Today's episode is a little bit different and rather unplanned, somewhat impromptu. Last week, when I learned about the Artemis II space mission, I had two immediate thoughts. First was, that sounds awesome. That sounds so cool. And second was, why have I not heard about this sooner? Why are more people not talking about this? I mean, I literally learned about it about 5 days prior to the original launch date, which was February 8th. It's been delayed due to some type of hydrogen leak, but why did I not hear about it before then? So, since I think it's cool, I'll be one of the people who talks about it. I want to spread some good, cool news. So, what in the world am I talking about? Let me catch you up to speed. So, what is the Artemis Program? Well, NASA established the Artemis Program back in 2017, and its purpose is to return humans to the moon, establish a long-term presence there, and facilitate further missions into deep space. Now, to put it into context, the last manned space mission that actually went outside of Earth's orbit and past the International Space Station was Apollo 17 in 1972. That was 54 years ago. It's a long time. I think we'd be at least a little better equipped to reach the moon at this point. So, why is it called Artemis? Well, Artemis is the Greek goddess of the moon and the twin sister of Apollo. Ah, you see the connection there? Apollo, Artemis, there you go. So, what has happened so far? Well, Artemis 1, the first mission for Artemis, was an unmanned mission that just basically sent something around the moon and back. And it was just to test the hardware, make sure everything's working all right. Artemis 2, and that happened back in 2022. I should actually include that. Artemis 2 is going to be the first manned mission, and it's going to send about a 4-person crew on a 10-day journey around the moon and back. And its purpose is to test the life support systems once again, but with actual people. So, they're not actually going to land on the moon. They're just going to go around it. And this was originally planned to launch on February 8th, but due to some hydrogen leak, apparently, it's been delayed to some point in March. So, there you go. You have a chance to watch the launch now. Yay! I guess. So, why in the world should you care? Like, What's so cool about this, in case you're wondering? Well, there's two things that are cool about it. There's a lot of twos today. First is the 4-person crew are going to travel the furthest away from Earth than any human being has ever done. So they're going to go the furthest into space than anyone has ever gone before. That in and of itself is really awesome. A wild scientific marvel. It's really, really cool. The previous people to hold this record is the crew of Apollo 13, which is interesting because I don't think that was exactly the plan of Apollo 13. But now Artemis 2 is going to go a few thousand kilometers further than Apollo 13 did. Now, a few thousand kilometers, that doesn't sound like a lot in space. I don't know, but still, they're going to go further than any person has ever gone before into space. That in and of itself is awesome. Now, the second cool thing about it is its potential. Because, I mean, if you really, really think about it, how cool is it that they're just kind of going to go to like some empty point in space and just come back? That's kind of like driving to Disneyland, driving around Disneyland, and going home without ever actually going into Disneyland. So it seems kind of like, and who cares? Well, that's where the potential comes in. If I were to compare it to a scene from a very well done and famous film, I would compare it to Samwise Gamgee's Next Step. I bet you thought I was going to go with like something space related, like Star Wars or Star Trek. No, I'm going Lord of the Rings. So, in Peter Jackson's The Fellowship of the Ring, this doesn't happen in the books, it's just in the movies, and I think it's a good addition. Soon after leaving the Shire, Samwise stops and tells Frodo that if he takes one more step, it'll be the furthest away from home that he's ever been. And that's a big event for him, just like it'll be for these astronauts. It'll be the furthest away from home they've ever been. Well, when he takes that next step, it's just the next step to us. I mean, there's no grand fanfare, there's no fireworks, there's no confetti, there's no cheering, some grand entourage. No, it's just the next step. But where does that next step take him? He goes to Rivendell. He sees the great halls of Khazad-dûm. He goes to Lothlorien. He sees the Argonath. He goes all the way to Mordor. He walks into Mordor, which some people have said is even impossible to do. And he goes to Minas Tirith and sees the crowning of a king. All of these things are all thanks to him taking that next step. If he hadn't taken that next step, none of those things would have happened. And evil would not have been defeated. That next step that Samwise Gamgee takes is critically important. And it's a really important event to recognize in Samwise's life because that's the furthest away from home he's been at that point. So that's his next hurdle. That's what the Artemis II mission is for us. It's the next step. Where are we going next? Where is this going to lead us? What awesome things are going to happen? It is so cool to imagine the possibilities of what could be coming. It sounds so exciting. Now, if I were to, well, let me put it this way. This is the epitome of a famous phrase from a rather famous and popular franchise, Star Trek. It is the epitome of the phrase, to boldly go where no man has gone before. No man has actually gone that far out into space. So this is extremely cool, and I'm extremely excited for the possibilities that lie ahead after the success of this mission. And I think it'll be successful, and I'm really excited to learn about it, to see how it all goes. There are literally people who are reaching for the stars. We should cheer them on. And we should find our own stars to reach for. Thank you for being here. Thank you always for being here. Have you heard of the Artemis II? What do you think of it? Are you excited? What do you think the potential could be for the future? Thank you always for being here again. Now go find yourself a good book.